Hi, I'm Sarah White. I am a yoga teacher in Dubai who focus more about embodied movement rather than a shape-based practice. I started out in Dubai 7 years ago and I was actually cabin crew for a big airline. I was cabin crew for 5 years and then I got into the yoga practice just more for the mental kind of health of it. And from there, once I started yoga, I decided that yoga teaching was definitely the path that I'd rather be on. And I've been doing that for 2 years out in Dubai. Okay, so back in, I think 2016, I know I've always struggled with anxiety, but back then in my life it was especially bad. And I'd always heard about kind of the mental benefits of yoga, that it can help calm you down. And I was in such a state where I got completely sick of myself. And that was the point where I needed to kind of let go of all the anxiety and all the fear of going to try a class and try it just because I thought that it could help me and save me. Journaling has always been my kind of expression since I was 18. And like I said, I think because I've carried this with me throughout my life, when I have pen to paper, I feel like words flow a lot better, as opposed to I can articulate what I'm feeling better on page rather than speaking out. And I think that in itself is it's a type of meditation, right? So that it brings you into the moment, into your feelings, and helps you kind of organise your feelings, what you actually feel and what needs to be kind of worked on. So the reason I encourage an embodied kind of practice is because even when I first started yoga and I was doing a lot of the traditional styles, there was just some kind of magic that was missing, because the teacher or whoever was at the front of the class was always getting so fixated on the shapes that we were making. They got really fixated on the alignment of the postures, when an embodied practice is more about going inside, and it's less about the shapes and more about the feeling of this kind of moving meditation, which for me, it just encouraged a lot more awareness, which I think is lacking completely in our lives, rather than having our view all on the external and whether what I'm doing is right and wrong. It's kind of just accepting where we are with it and being able to feel our way through it from the inside rather than focusing on the external. Within the 4 years of practicing, I think this type of style and the way that now I move my body and what it's helped me kind of learn is, it sounds really stupid, but you let go of this kind of rules and this box and this constraint that you think you should be in. And for me, it was all about expressing, and I found that very hard at the start, is to be able to express and especially like use my voice. Just being able to move your body, and for me to start with as well, is I come from a place where I thought I was very weak mentally, and just to then find strength within my mind first and have that projected through my body, and to be able to move in such ways. And I know people say that it looks so graceful, and that isn't anything that was attributed to me, which I thought. So I think it's just, again, this embodied practice is being able to just express something that you've held in so deeply out into the world, and that is, like you said, it's empowering, it's liberating for people to be able to do that. The interaction I've received with people and followers from everywhere, for me, I see it as a community. I never thought, even going into yoga, that I wouldn't say it was a big following, but the fact that people want to turn up and practice with me, and the fact that people can connect with me, that's the reason why I started, and that's the reason why I said this is why I want to teach, is to give people who feel the same as me or can connect to me at some way this kind of outlet, and hopefully guide them further onto their journeys as well. I always say, with anyone who goes into teaching or has been gifted in a certain way, that our gifts that we've been given are not ours only, and that we all have a duty, whether it's a gift in yoga, it's a gift in carpentry, you have a duty to share that with others, because I think that's what, without sounding terrible, but that's what being alive is all about. My tattoos do show a big part of my journey. Definitely the times in my life that I've had them, but also what they represent. So the one on my hip is the 7 chakras, the 7 energy wheels, on top of a mandala, which is all about just the journey and the unfolding of life. And the tattoo on my ankle is all about kind of my guides and my angels, that they walk with me as I go through the path. I definitely think that yoga, movement, fitness is beneficial to adolescents and teens, and especially in this day and age. I think the earlier that we can learn these kind of skills that make us kind of happy within ourselves, kind of take joy from the internal factors and not the external factors, will really benefit, because then they're more equipped with life. You and me, we both know that you get to the age of whatever age we get to, and nothing quite goes to plan as what you've planned as a 16-year-old, and life's not like that. Whereas now I think a lot of kids are suffering from anxiety because they're being told at 15, 16 that you need to know which path you have to be on, and that you need to be completely academic or going down this system that maybe it's been pushed on them. Whereas if you give them these skills to listen to themselves, listen to their intuition, then they become more kind of whole adults. My future plans for myself and the business was, first of all, I want to start doing teacher trainings. So to teach similar people, whether they be cabin crew or whether they're thinking about taking yoga as a profession, kind of take them under my wing, show them the embodied way, more of a holistic kind of approach to it. The long future will be having my own retreat centre in the mountains, middle of nowhere, yoga shala on the side, bar park outside for some nice fitness and calisthenics, just living simply, freely, and bringing people to me and showing them a different way of life.